being good at techniques that naturally fit together in a system is a huge advantage, and one of those advantages are being prepared for when your opponents make adjustments. Those adjustments can be in match or in between matches, it doesn't matter. Let's look at somebody like Austin DeSanto, for example. The first time he wrestled Seth Groves, he beat him. The first time he wrestled Nick Sirianno, he beat him. The first time he wrestled RBY, the first two times he beat him. But if you look at between their first match at the Big Ten Championships when he dominated RBY, and their match a couple weeks later at the NCAA Championships, that match was much closer. And then after that, RBY beat him every time. And with guys that have more of this applies to everybody, but especially for guys that have more of an unorthodox wrestling style, or they use techniques that aren't as common, because that first time you wrestle somebody, they can kind of be shocked by it. And you don't want to take those results in that match and kind of think I'm way better than this guy. They never wrestled somebody who wrestled like you before, and now that they have time to go back and kind of make adjustments with their coaches, watch the match over, then they can flip that result and make that match a lot closer. So we're going to be looking at using two matches between Jax Forrest and Brady Roark. Brady Roark was a 4-time state finalist and 3-time state champion in Missouri, and he now wrestles D1 at South Dakota State. So a very good wrestler here. And we're also going to be looking at keeping the leg split, because that's something I've been working on a lot for my 4th book. But that's just kind of part of what we're going to be seeing. So elbow control slide by is not a technique that most wrestlers use. And that's kind of part of the unorthodox feel. So that's the first time Jax Forrest tries to hit Brady with it. Second time he hits him with it, he's able to get behind him. And after a lot of scrambling, he eventually scores. So Brady still hasn't really adjusted. Obviously, the match just started 15 seconds ago. But that's twice now he's got to feel this technique. There's a good chance he's probably never even felt before. He's probably felt a slide by before, but good chance he never felt that elbow control slide by, right? Or not in the live match, maybe. Lets him up. Jax Forrest grabs his tricep. As soon as he reaches up, another slide by. All right, so now that's 3 times he's felt it, 2 times he's gotten scored on with it. So Jax Forrest instantly, now this is the first in-match adjustment. Jax Forrest instantly gets out in front, and you will see how Brady doesn't want to even, he doesn't grab Jax Forrest back, because most people here would instantly reach inside. But if he would have reached inside, especially since he's on the knee, that would have been another elbow control slide by that Forrest would have hit with him. And he notices, okay, if I have an inside tie, it's not good for me. So he doesn't even grab Forrest back. However, because Forrest also is good at the fireman's, right? It's the fireman's carry or fireman's dump. I just call them all fireman's now because it's easy to just kind of keep going. He doesn't need you to grab him back, because he can just pull that arm into an underhook, like a forced underhook for you, and then just hit the fireman's. So that's exhibit A of, okay, I grab it. My system is grabbing your tricep elbow area, this area right here. And regardless of what you do, there's 4 main reactions that people will do. They will either collar tie you, they'll inside tie you, they'll elbow tie you, or they'll underhook you. And then there's other reactions like we just saw, the guy not even grabbing him back at all, right? Or just post on your shoulder. There's other reactions as well. But for the main 4 reactions, even the 5th reaction of them not grabbing anything at all, they can still, he has an option. And we've gone over this on the channel multiple times. Just highlighting it to point out something else and make a dedicated video for it. I was actually making a video for something else, right? Being prepared for your opponent's reactionary underhook, where I was going to talk about slide by, shut by from the front headlock and head snap. And then I started looking at this, and I was more interested in making this video today. But my next video would be about that. He hits him with another fireman's. All right, so that's cool. He hits him with another fireman's. I showed this clip. You got a shot, end up scrambling. I showed this clip to show how Forrest switches from an he keeps the leg split. Just something. This part 1 of my new book that will be coming out this month. Where notice right here, a lot of people when they think about turks, they think about split leg turks and stepping in between. But you can also use your arm for an arm turk. Use your arm for an arm turk right here. As he reaches in between, this prevents his opponent, Brady, from bellying down towards him. And when they don't belly down towards you when you have an arm turk, or when they realize I can't belly down towards you, they try to belly down away from you. But when they do that, it's easy to switch. This is the bottom leg right now. As soon as you can see Jax Forrest's hand on the bottom leg. As soon as Brady tries to belly down the other way, this is no longer, sorry about that. This is no longer the bottom leg. As soon as Brady tries to belly down the way, the other leg is the bottom leg, and he just switches to the Navy, as you can see. Now Brady's able to get his knee in, right? Forrest ends up getting too low on the legs. Brady's able to get his knee in, but the attempt is nice, and you're gonna see him later on in this video benefit from that relationship between Arm Turk, Navy, looking for it, etc., etc. So right here, he's going to hit another fireman's feet to back. So you're going to take a deeper look at it. So when Forrest grabs his tricep, notice he's not grabbing anything yet. He's not grabbing anything. He can easily go inside right now, but he's already noticed, hey man, when I go inside, he hits me with that slide by. So he eventually goes outside tie. That's the reaction so many of them make, so many of them have. And then that doesn't help because he still has the fireman's. That's even more dangerous because he ended up scoring. This was back in 2022. This is their first match, which was in 2022. And this is 2 points takedown and then 2 point back, 2 back points. So he ended up going feet to back for 4 points on this. And then you can also see him use a scoop to far leg as well when Brady gets his chest down the opposite way. They end up wrestling again in 2023. I believe this is Fargo. This is definitely freestyle. I believe this is Fargo. If you haven't already, check out my bookstore on Shopify where I have these 2 books published, as well as my 3rd book, Master the Cross Wrist. I also have a 4th book coming out very soon. Should be out before the end of the month. I know you guys will love them. And let's get back to the video. Doesn't really make a difference. And Brady, his hand fighting is a little bit better, right? His hand fighting is a little bit cleaner. This is after Brady graduated, I believe, because his first season at SDSU was 2023, 2024. So he's a bit prepared for it. He's a little bit more prepared for the firemen's. As you saw there, was able to sprawl, get his legs back, force a stalemate. So notice right here that as soon as Forrest finally is able to get control of his tricep, he doesn't know what to do, right? Like, it's like he's deciding, he's almost freezing. Okay, if I reach inside, it's going to be a slide by. And I think it seems like to me, he was more focused on, based on his adjustments and based on his reactions, he was more concerned with the slide by than the fireman's. And it's very hard to be concerned about both. Very hard. Not too many wrestlers are good at both of those techniques. Not too many wrestlers are just good at the elbow control slide by itself. But he eventually settles for the outside tie, the elbow tie, right? We know that opens up the fireman's. Now, he's probably prepared for the regular fireman's that he got hit with 3 times in the first match. 2 or 3 times. Definitely twice, at least twice. And I just watched it, I should know. He's probably prepared for it, but Forrest also can do a far leg fireman's, right? Or outside fireman's. So he just goes to the far leg, ends up not going feet to back. Great. So that time he just kept his arm back. Now, this is hard to adjust for. This adjustment right here, not a bad adjustment, but it's just you reacting the whole time, right? This is hard to keep up for 6 minutes when he's not grabbing anything. Like, eventually you're gonna engage back. He elbow pass there. So this is what the video was about. Forrest goes elbow control slide by. Brady gets an underhook, a reactionary underhook. And then he ends up going right into the fireman's. And then he has a leg split, uses the Navy. Cool, this video is way longer than I expected it to be. But, all right, so this happens all the time. On the elbow control slide by, on the overtime slide by, especially those 2. But this will also happen on the basic slide by and a shrug by. Anything in the slide by family. His opponent, Brady, ends up getting an underhook, which is a reaction that a lot of guys do, and it's typically not a problem. But in this situation, it is a problem because if you underhook Forrest on that side, again, he has his dump. And now we know, right, the dump right here, if they're trying to get their chest down towards you, you keep control of that leg, of that bottom leg, because you have an arm turk. The second they try to belly down to away from you, this is the new bottom leg, and you scoop it just like Forrest does, and now you have a navy. And navies are so underrated, especially in freestyle, because I know in freestyle we like to focus on leg laces and gut wrenches, techniques that a lot of times once you get one, you can get multiple of them. But in Navy, if you get a Navy in a freestyle match, it's almost guaranteed 2-point exposure because you don't even have to focus on keeping control once you turn it back. You just have to get them turned. And we're going to look at a clip of Artagura after this just to highlight my point. But he has this Navy. He's going to turn them. And that's easy exposure. And you may be in a match where that 2-point exposure, and it led to the leg lace, but that may not necessarily happen. But where that 2-point exposure really helps out. Look at this clip of Artagura here, where he's gonna word on the hands, basic leg attack. He's gonna purposely. A lot of people would have just ended up on top right here. He's going to purposely split the legs, get his arm inside. His opponent, being smart, kind of turns away from this because if he turns into him, if his opponent tries to get his chest down toward Artagura, Artagura has an arm turk, which is more likely to lead to a pin, and just as likely to end up in exposure. So he tries to turn away. Doesn't matter. Artagura instantly, the second he's turning away, right, Artagura scoops that bottom leg for the Navy. And now once you have that Navy, it's very easy to get exposure. It's very easy to get exposure. So that was easy 2 points for Artagura right there. So just a few things I want to look at. First, keeping the leg split. Just a little side note part of this video. If you're good at the firemen, you should constantly be trying to be in that position. But even from scrambles, right, as we saw Artagura and as we saw from Jack's Forrest, he did it off a scramble the first time. It wasn't off a fireman. But being good at techniques that naturally fit together, it's going to be hard for opponents to adjust to your offense because if a lot of guys are good at one technique, and once people start preparing for them and start like talking about them, they have to get good at a whole different technique that may take a lot of time. If you're already good at multiple techniques, you already know from watching this channel which techniques fit into other techniques. And you should know just from watching your matches, right? I mean, if you're constantly attempting a technique and guys end up in a certain position after you attempt that technique, or guys are avoiding that technique altogether by making XYZ adjustments, what technique can you do that they're kind of setting themselves up for, right? So I just want to use Jack's Forrest matches because his system is the easiest way to showcase this. It's very easy to showcase this, and it's kind of hard to show Jack's Forrest versus high school kids. But I mean, in 2022, 2023, he was still obviously really good, but he wasn't 2025 senior world team be the world champion good. And Brady Roark, I mean, D1 wrestler, 3-time state champion, really good wrestler, right? So he knew what he was doing. So yeah, I'm just repeating myself now, and I will see you guys on the next video.